Okay, I'm going to do some Bitcoin technical analysis. And so, one thing that's interesting is, in charting, um, there's this idea, like you can see here, for example, there's this peak and then there's this valley for when it comes back. And so, uh, when it crosses a major horizontal trend line, it often will continue the direction fall. Here's one you see here on a shorter term, and it crosses over and it crashes down for a while. And so, what's interesting is that in the history of Bitcoin, let's go to weekly here. Okay, I'm looking at a weekly chart now. With the exception of this beginning here, you can see Bitcoin's followed this trend line. It's not gone below it until a few weeks ago. So you can see in the top right corner. That's not like dramatically like terrible that it's done that, but I mean overall it's above all the moving averages here on the weekly, and that's a good sign. Um, But we also know that these angled horizontal lines are not as meaningful as horizontal trend lines. So here, for example, you have to excuse all my drawings. I like to draw lines. Okay, this is right. Try to do this here. And the bigger the uh, longer the chart, okay, the more meaningful it is. So when it came up through and it struggled and finally got through, it went up for a while. And so you can see this horizontal trend line was a point. And let me show you one more on the downside. Uh, it tends to just go straight up and then straight down. It goes parabolic. This is a long time ago. Let me see here. Now it's more mature. Probably the best actual top that it had. I say best, but the clearest was here. And again, it's not perfectly horizontal, but you can see right here. So one, two, three. Uh, and so once it crosses that, it goes down. So what we're looking for is a triple top here, potentially. Not that it always does that. So it's definitely not looking good. Um, Mind you, this volume down is really huge. This is just dollar volume. But you can see over time, it just kind of tends to pick up. Anyways, a lot of people selling here, I guess. So what I'm watching is this right here. So you can see there's a possibility goes up and it comes down and then it's over. It's unlikely to just drop straight down with this. Uh, Not even like a double top. Like if I wish I could draw on this. I probably can, but I don't know how. Gosh, there we go. So again, this is the triple top we're looking for it to be the end. It's usually if it's gonna crash, you need a lower low. Okay, so here you see the low here and the low here. This is higher than this one. So whereas let me go back to this one here. I don't want to take too much time here, but so like here it goes up, but this is also parabolic, which means it's just went like straight up. So we're not really looking for that here. We're looking for more of a probably a triple top if it does crash. So the other scenario is that this is really just building a higher low, and it goes maybe something like this, okay? And and then you can see there's this big line across the top, and if it breaks through, then it'll be back off going up again. So those are the two most likely outcomes for Bitcoin today. And there's other things we can look at, which I don't have time in this video, but if institutions are buying or selling, we can't look at things like revenue and earnings because it doesn't have any. This is really just a network adoption effect is why it works. By the way, I'm seeing Bitcoin ATMs around more often, which is a sign that it's here to stay. So, but again, the price could be elevated. We don't really know. That's what makes it difficult. Unless you're 18 years old and you think it's going to be $1 million yet next year. But um, look at the daily chart here again. So as long as it's under these moving averages, especially the 150 day, which is blue on here, it's a bad sign. In fact, here you can see it break above the 150 day. So I should probably just check my drawings. Again, all these lines are just moving averages, just the average price over some period, 10, 20, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, or something like that. But right now, it definitely looks bad being down underneath all of them. So, so the reality is we don't know. And a lot of people that think they know probably don't do technical analysis, and so there's more guesswork in that. So the honest short answer is I don't think anyone really knows, not until it starts to go one way or the other more clearly. So again, the threshold would be kind of like great, and it's not a horizontal line yet, so that's why I'm still optimistic that it's headed upwards. I mean, you might say that's touching it. That might be good enough. But it looks like it might take a few months to, for something to happen. And during that period, there is always the possibility of catalysts, right? Some news event, you know, um, that's favorable or disfavorable to Bitcoin that will help make that decision of which way it's going to go. And that's it.